All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are taking a look at a concept car that literally stops you in your tracks, the CUPRA Tindaya. Seriously, from every single angle, this thing looks like it drove straight out of a sci-fi movie.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote comes from an auto journalist who's seen it all, and that right there tells you we're looking at something genuinely special. The design is just wow.
So, who's the brand behind this incredible machine? First up, let's meet the CUPRA Tindaya. For those of you who might not be familiar, let's get to know this company that was born in Barcelona.
Now, CUPRA might be one of the newer players on the scene, but they have already made a huge splash. They're all about performance, they're from Barcelona, and you can really feel that passion for design in everything they do. And what's really wild is their ambition. Get this, they have a model of 7 cars in 7 years. I mean, that is an unbelievably fast pace for the auto industry. It just goes to show you they are not afraid to be bold and move really quickly.
Okay, let's move on to the good stuff. Section 2, the exterior. We're going to start our tour with the most dramatic part of the car. And the inspiration behind it? It's pretty unique. So the car's name, Tindaya, actually comes from a volcano in Spain, and the design just brilliantly captures that. The front has this amazing bluish silvery color that represents the sea, and then it flows into this rocky, earthy color at the back, just like the mountains. It's such a cool piece of visual storytelling.
And the details are just insane. You've got these super sharp triangular prism headlights and a light-up badge that just glows. These fins on the side, they're translucent, and they actually change color depending on what driving mode you're in. Even the huge 23-inch rims shift from copper to purple in the light. The whole car just has this aggressive look, almost like an animal that's ready to pounce.
So with all this aggressive, futuristic styling, you have to wonder, right? What about its environmental impact? Is this all just for show? Well, here is the big surprise. What looks like super high-tech, expensive carbon fiber is actually natural fiber. Yeah, this car was built with a real focus on sustainability, and it just proves that a high-performance machine can also be built with eco-conscious materials.
Okay, time for Section 3, the interior. And the designers call it the living cockpit. You just tap a small button, the door pops open, and you're stepping into something that feels less like a car and a lot more like a spaceship.
The very first thing you notice is how everything, the screens, the console, all the controls is angled right towards the driver. It creates this super immersive environment that makes one thing perfectly clear. This car is all about the person behind the wheel.
Right in the center console is this beautiful glassy piece they call the jewel. This thing is your control hub. You use it to switch between 3 totally different driving experiences. Rider for pure minimalist performance, Tribe for a more connected and assisted drive, and Immersive for an experience focused only on driving with fewer electronics.
But the whole philosophy behind the interior goes even deeper than that. The designers, they wanted to create the feeling that the car itself is a living, breathing thing. And they pull this off in some really clever ways. There's this central spine running through the car that actually has a heartbeat. It subtly pulses up and down. The seats are made of a 3D knit, kind of like high-end sneakers, with this wavy, organic texture. The bucket seats and the whole console look like they're floating. Even the doors are asymmetrical, with handles in different spots on each side. It all works together to create this feeling of a living organism.
And now, the moment we've been waiting for. Section 4, the first ever drive. We've seen the outside, we've explored the inside, but what is it actually like to get behind that yoke?
This is a really special moment. We are watching the very first time this car has been driven by anyone outside of the design studio. You can just feel the excitement in the air. Even for the CUPRA team, this is a huge deal. One of the key pieces of tech they're testing here is called steer-by-wire. Basically, it means there's no physical, mechanical connection between the steering yoke and the wheels. It's all electronic. And what that does is it allows for incredibly sensitive, responsive turning, where just a tiny little input from the driver creates a big response from the car. Now, it's really important to remember that this drive isn't about top speed or hitting 60 in record time. It's about getting a teaser, a little glimpse of what driving in the future could actually feel like.
And that brings us to our final section, what this concept means. So what's the point of a car like this if you can't ever actually buy one? Well, concept cars serve a really vital purpose. They're a way for a company to test out radical ideas and to see how people react. This car, specifically, is a design platform for future models. We're talking about a future electric SUV. It's basically a physical version of the brand's vision, and at the end of the day, it's a teaser for what's coming next from CUPRA. And that brings our tour to a close. After seeing all this futuristic tech and design, from the pulsing heartbeat spine to the color-shifting rims, it really makes you think, what's one feature from a wild car like the Tindaya that you'd absolutely love to see become a reality in your own car someday?